Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Kylie if you're new, and today, oh yes, I will be breaking down my favorite kills from every Halloween movie. I have a very small rant to go on before I begin because I just need to discuss something really quick. In my last video, I referred to the man that played Michael in the fan-made Halloween film Halloween Night as John Schilling. And then I corrected myself and said his name was Don. It's Don Schilling. I'm really sorry. You guys, his name is John. I don't know, like, okay, here's the thing. Let me just give you like a brief glimpse as to everything that's going on in my life right now. It's happening again. Was it the same nail last time too? I only have nail polish on one nail. Okay, anyways, hold on, the lighting is weird. So I just recently turned in a 5,000 word short story, and I have another one due in like 5 days that I have my idea for and I have my outline for, but I haven't even started it. I also have a sociology exam due on Tuesday. I have to plan, film, and edit all of this week's content. I'm also acting in a production for my advanced TV production class, so for 2 days a week I have to get all dolled up and like go to campus and act. I also am a co-writer of that production, so I have to meet a couple of times with 2 other classmates to finish writing the second episode, but it's a little bit too much because I constantly just like beat myself up and call myself an idiot just for like making these mistakes in my videos. And I even theorized, I was like, do I even have a brain, or is where my brain's supposed to be just a small bowl of soup? And then I thought about it, and I thought about everything going on, and also my anxiety with like the election coming up and just the anxiety of graduating college. I have like a month and a half left to go, and then I'm gonna be done with school forever. So honestly, I feel like it's kind of reasonable that my brain would be turning into soup right now. So anyways, mini rant over. So I am gonna get into my favorite deaths of the Halloween franchise, and yes, I did say deaths, not kills, but most of the deaths will be Michael's kills. So I will start with Halloween 1978, and I will work my way all the way up to Halloween 2018, and I will be including the fan-made film in this list. So in Halloween 1978, I think this is probably a pretty popular opinion, but my favorite death goes to the guy that got pinned against the wall. This was one of my favorite scenes, hands down. Aside from the opening shot, which is just iconic, I love that POV shooting style, but I don't love the actual death of his sister that much, so my favorite kill does go to this scene. I also love the shadowy aesthetic of it. Again, I've said this so many times, but I just love Carpenter's super kind of minimalist, implicit style of killing. This is a relatively bloodless film, but it still packs the same punch, I think, as if there was gore, if not more, because you still know exactly what's going on. This scene also just made Michael look so menacing because he's literally pinning this dude against the wall with a knife. It really exemplifies his strength and makes him so terrifying. Okay, moving on to Halloween 2 from 1981, and my favorite death in this movie is actually Michael's death at the end. Now, I know he didn't technically die, obviously, right? He comes back in part 4, but back then this was supposed to be the final Halloween movie. I mean, this movie wasn't even really supposed to exist, but it was supposed to be the final one. So in that end scene when there's that big fiery explosion and then Michael comes out, you know, he'd already been shot in like both eyes or something, and now he's just fully on fire and he collapses. It's very climactic. I think it's one of the best showdowns in literally any of the Halloween movies. It's one of my favorite endings. So I know it's not a Michael kill, but it is a great death. Okay, now for part 4, I do have an honorable mention actually for this one, and my favorite one as well. So the honorable mention is the girl that gets impaled into the door with the shotgun. I remember during that scene, I really thought that he was gonna shoot her, which I thought was just so weird and so out of character, but then of course he does the most Michael thing ever and he just rams it through her body. Excellent kill. But my favorite kill has to go to the guy that was driving the truck, and Michael is on top of it and he reaches in and he basically just claws the guy's neck open. That was one of my favorite moments of the entire movie. In the moment, it grossed me out so much, and I thought it was just so twisted and cool. In Halloween 5, this is one of my least favorite of the original sequels. I didn't feel that it had many really good deaths in it. I did like some of the characters, so some of the teen deaths were pretty upsetting, but nothing about the actual deaths themselves were very spectacular in any way. I think the one exception to this, and my favorite kill of the movie, is Michael's death. The teenage boy, Michael. He was one of those jerk characters that just, you know, he was expendable. You knew he was gonna die because he was just so annoying with his car, and then of course a part of his death scene involves Michael scraping his precious baby and then impaling him with that, I guess it's a rake? I don't really know. It was one of the only deaths in the movie that felt very climactic to me, because even Rachel's death, who Rachel should have gotten a more climactic death if they were gonna kill her off, but as is, her death was off screen and you didn't actually really know if she was dead yet. I was in denial. I was like, well, they didn't show her death on screen, so surely she's not dead yet because it's Rachel. Such a strong character, right? They wouldn't kill her off yet. They did though. So anyways, I'm gonna move on to Halloween 6. So this one is weird because I think that in the producer's cut, Jamie had the worst death probably of the entire Halloween franchise, getting shot in the head with a gun, just dumb, out of character for this franchise. But in the theatrical cut, she had one of the best deaths. She was impaled by that, what was it? It was like farming equipment, or was it a rake? It was something like that. She got fully impaled. A pitchfork. Was it a pitchfork? Anyways, that's the type of death I think that Rachel deserved. I wouldn't have killed her off, but she deserves something more climactic, more of a tribute to her character, you know? Like, she deserved to go out with a bang. And in the theatrical cut of part 6, Jamie did indeed go out with a bang. I guess she went out with a bang in the producer's cut too because she got shot, so like never mind. Okay, so H2O I thought was super fun. It's in my top 3 of my favorite Halloween movies. 2 honorable mentions. So the first one is obviously Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Just love him. Loved seeing a young Joseph. It was so cute. And then he got an ice skate to the face. Had never seen that before, just had to point out that that was an honorable mention. My other honorable mention is the girl that got her leg broken by the dumbwaiter. That was one of the most skin crawling moments I think of the Halloween franchise up until this point for me. And then she was just brutally stabbed after that. It was a genuinely shocking, genuinely gross moment. I think I jumped when it happened too, I'm not sure. But the best death in the movie obviously has to be, yet again, Michael himself. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. I know that in Resurrection we find out it's not actually Michael, just don't even say it. Resurrection ruined everything, so we're gonna ignore that. I don't need Resurrection to taint the memory of the fact that Laurie got to decapitate Michael. That's one of my favorite Laurie moments out of any movie she's in. Very powerful, I loved it. It's also one of my favorites yet again because it is so climactic and so dramatic. So I guess let's move on to the movie that completely ruined that, Resurrection. I'd like to just ignore this one because I really didn't like this movie. I was pretty spaced out. None of the deaths are very memorable for me, except for Laurie Strode, of course. I am gonna give the best death to Laurie Strode. Laurie was the only character in that movie that I cared about. I think that was the only good sequence of the movie. So it was the most meaningful death to me, and the other ones I just didn't care about, so I'm gonna give her the best death. Let's move on to Knob Zombie's Halloween. I did not like the death scenes in this movie. They were far too explicit for my taste and just very in your face, very cheap. So just too brutal for me, too much. So if I had to choose one, it is not because I liked the aesthetic of the death or anything like that or thought it was cool. My favorite death was, well, actually the 2 deaths of the men that sexually assaulted the patient. Just simply because their deaths were well deserved. So yeah, I mean, not really much more to say about that. In Halloween 2, this one was tough because the kills seemed even more brutal in this one. I can't believe that Octavia Spencer was in this movie. I guess I'll give an honorable mention to her death. By the way, I cannot show the deaths from the Rob Zombie movies. Actually, well, I think I could probably show the next one. Because for my favorite kill from this movie, I am gonna go with the guy that got his head stomped in the field. And I actually am choosing this one because it was a little bit more implicit. It was a lot darker out. It was shot with a wide angle, and they paid homage to that death in Halloween 2018 with the guy who got his head stomped on. So also my association to Halloween 2018 with that death is also why I liked that one. So that being said, I am gonna move on to my favorite kill from Halloween 2018. Well, actually, hold on. I have a couple honorable mentions because on that topic, one honorable mention is obviously the guy that got his brain stomped in. That was such a surprising moment. I remember seeing it in theaters and I genuinely jumped. Like, that really took me by surprise because just his head broke so easily. Another honorable mention that might be surprising to some of you is actually the child's death in that movie. Now, the reason why I'm okay with it, I don't generally like seeing children die in movies, but the reason I was okay with that was that it wasn't super gratuitous, it wasn't gory at all. It was just a moment that was very intense and it was like, yeah, we're taking it there. Something that none of the Halloween movies had done before, not even Rob Zombie had done that before. He did kill teenagers, but it's not the same. Now, oddly enough, my favorite death scene actually involves 2 people, but it's another homage to the Rob Zombie's films, and it's the deaths of the podcasters in the disgusting bathroom. And it's not even so much the deaths themselves, but it's more so the build up to them. It's the way that Michael drops the teeth and the way that she kind of crawls under the stalls, the way that the guy tries to help her, and then of course Michael bashes his head in, and the way that he pins her up, and then it's also implicit and it's also off screen because when she dies we kind of just see her feet go still. I just thought it was really well done. I also really love the color scheme of that scene. It was a moment. So before I move on to my favorite kill from Halloween night, I actually have a story about when I went to go see Halloween 2018. So I went to see that by myself. Okay, when I got out of the theater, it was dark and I had to go to the bathroom. Now this theater is in a plaza, and if you're from Thousand Oaks, it was at the Jan's Marketplace. So it's this marketplace where there's like the theater and there's a bunch of food and stuff like that. It's like a big outdoor food court sort of, and there's like fountains. It's really nice. But the bathrooms on the way to my car were outdoors, and they were kind of down this like little alleyway like between restaurants. Now this is not a creepy place. Thousand Oaks is one of the safest places literally in the entire country. So it's not sketchy or anything like that. I'm using the term alley very loosely. I just don't know how else to describe this little walkway. But anyways, so I get in the bathroom and I'm freaked out. I'm the only one in the bathroom. It's like dark outside. And while I was going to the bathroom, somebody walked in and they like stopped in front of my stall. I couldn't see their feet, so they weren't like right in front of my stall, but they like stopped. And that's basically exactly what Michael had done in the movie. I was like, no way. I was like, no way this is happening to me right now. And it was probably just a woman that came in and like stopped and like looked at her phone or something. But in that moment, I was really freaked out. So I was just kind of like rushing to finish. I like rushed to get like my pants back on and everything, and I was like getting situated. I was about to get out of there. And when I stepped out of the stall, there was no one there. In my rushing to like get dressed again and whatnot, I didn't hear if she like went into a stall or hear if she left or anything. All I know is that when I went out of the stall, there was no one there. So I'm like, did I imagine the footsteps of somebody coming into the bathroom? I don't know. Did I just psych myself out? I don't know. So anyways, moving on to Halloween night. Now the best death of this movie by far has got to be the guy that got impaled with Michael's knife as he was peeing on a tree. Never seen that before, honestly. I can't remember if that's happened in a Friday the 13th movie. I don't think it has though. Where a guy's going to the bathroom outside and literally gets killed as he's going to the bathroom. That's pretty rough. That's a pretty rough death. So on that note, I actually do have PR from JP DeStefano, the guy who directed Halloween Night. I have it right here. I'm so pumped. I've been holding off on opening this. Also, I'm gonna cover my address and just show you. So I had to get this sent to my PO box back home, and my mom kind of like opened it a little bit, but she put tape over the part that she tore so that I could actually open it for myself. And I told her the package was coming too, but it's not her fault. Like, of course she would assume it's probably for her. So anyways, let's open this bad boy up and see what I got. We got Halloween Night on DVD, baby. Hold up, look at this art. I have to kind of tilt it because there's a glare. I think that is so cool. Like, there's so many layers to it. I also love like the blue and orange vibes. Good contrast, really good artwork. There's also special features, featurettes with the cast and crew behind the scenes inside the sound engineer's studio. Super, super cool. If you have not seen this, it's free to watch on YouTube. I will link it down below. And what else? Houston Horror Film Festival. Oh, I think he won Best Director at this horror film festival. That is so cool. So this must be from that festival. How special. What a treat. This is some really cool memorabilia. That is tight. And then, oh my goodness, there's multiple, there's more things. Okay. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. We got merch, baby. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Cute. Oh my gosh, this is a lovely material. I don't know how to explain it, but you know how most t-shirts are kind of rough? Like, I was just wearing this one from the Stanley Hotel, and it's just a little bit more stiff. It's not quite as soft. This is one of those t-shirts with the material where it's like a little bit on the thinner side, but it's a little bit more stretchy and a lot softer and more comfortable. That's what's up. And there was something else in there. Some pins, it looks like. Oh my god, cute! Folks, I got 2 of the same one. That means, do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? There will be a giveaway in the near future. That is perfect because I am gonna be doing a collection update in the next couple weeks, like very soon actually. So this will obviously be included in that collection update, and then I do have a giveaway planned for when I do that collection update. And now this can be part of it. Oh my god, cute! Okay, on that note, I think I'm gonna conclude the video here. I hope that you enjoyed. As always, do check out my vlog channel. I post over there about like my travels and other miscellaneous content, so check it out if you're interested at all. You can also follow me on social media. My Instagram, Twitter, Depop, and Letterboxd are all at Kai Johns. On Letterboxd, that's where I talk about movies that I don't intend on reviewing on this channel. On Instagram, that is where I show you guys what movies I'm watching so you can watch them as well, just in case I do a review of them soon. I'm selling a couple movies on Depop right now, so check that out if you're interested as well. Twitter is a mess. It's for whatever I want it to be for, and it's also mainly for activism. On that note, definitely check out the petitions and the GoFundMe's linked down below. I update those every single week. Make sure that you are registered to vote. There will be a link for that as well. Super fun and super cool to participate in your democracy. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye!